Hello everybody, welcome back to From Rhythm to Algorithm. We continue on with our derivation. What contains sensorality? Sensorality contains sensorality. So I had to restart this video. There'll be an edit at the end of the video for the actual derivations. I don't like to edit anything. But again, my rights continue to be violated to a profound and extensive level that damages my property and literally messes up the dissemination of science directly, literally. And so continue to emphasize that. I'm smiling, but I just cannot articulate having my YouTube channel to be threatened to be taken down from directly fraudulent copyright strikes for doing a book report yesterday is profound and tremendous disruption to my headspace, to my workflow, and that financial and legal damage goes directly to Penguin Clearinghouse, or Penguin Random House Publishing, as well as Andrew Ross Sorkin directly. So you can see that edit, because I don't like to disrupt the actual derivation itself whatsoever, but the dog was barking a little too much. And so what is sensorality? It's a linguistic word form, or it's syllability, right? It's sound with no meaning. Well, we're deriving the meaning. Again, this overall structure of linguistic analysis you've never seen before. And so I've introduced this thing that looks like a word, but it's just going to be syllability. It's going to have definitive syllables that have meaning, and we're showing that integration. Sensorality. Conceptually, we've contained that within sensorality. That has a well-defined conceptualization. Odor. Again, sensorality, I put it on the screen. Or why is orality not well-defined and odorality is? For whatever reason, again, odor feels like an actual base is the best way I can put it, but it's certainly linguistically contained and completely conceptually contained. And so again, maybe this fundamental differentiation we're showing is between orality and odorality. Regardless, we're just working through linguistic analysis, which is just, if you've never seen one of these videos, we're just doing analysis to what people would call a mathematical proof. But if you said, hey, linguistics is more rigorous than mathematics, people would have no idea what you're talking about. And so I have to try to structure analysis that is, again, more rigorous than the area of a circle, and people just have aversion to that. And so again, I try to keep these videos as self-contained as possible. Again, with my YouTube channel getting threatened to take down, it's like my own personal account. Again, I don't have constitutional rights, and it's a genuine, profound headspace to, again, I'm literally over here doing book reports in the most profound scientific derivation ever, and I just want to be able to record it somehow. And my physical copies get damaged, every of my videos, and it's just like, I am the victim of the most profound crime in history, and to my estate, the instant you have any access and the law makes any sense, punish everybody. Trying to focus on the derivation, it is difficult. And so what is sensorality? It is sound. Most literally, it is sound. And we're showing this assignment of shape and how that shape iterates uniquely chronologically throughout conceptualization. We're all people, we're born into culture, we have this thing called science, and so we're showing definitiveness, a definition amongst scientific ontology. That's like the complete analysis thing, what we're doing. We're generating a definition. People just don't know, again, how rigorous what that means. What we have is shapes, letters, those contain what people have called in chemistry class chirality. But you cannot have shape that didn't chirate. You can't have shape that didn't stabilize based off of this asymmetric progression. Existence, inversion, stabilization, and we have this fundamental stability of 2 numerically, and then we live in what's in 3 dimensions, or what's been called 3 dimensions, and that's conceptually good enough. And so we'll even to that point, right? Conceptualization is conceptualization. Existence is existence. We have these things, we have a world around us that we interact with, and we have representations, words, and those words contain, again, the conceptualization of function. I don't think you can break concept and function. You look at an object's form, what does it do? And so, again, this headspace of trying to do work when my rights are violated so profoundly, and it's just like disgusting. And I'm trying to work through it the best I can. I cannot state how severe of a crime this is. I'm literally being profoundly and extensively T-word. Try not to say that word too much, because again, the YouTube is the only public record I have, and no one cares. My life has been so clearly that the law doesn't matter, and Brad's life personally does not matter to anybody. I'm just trying to tell my story. Hopefully it gets heard at some point. I have no expectation that will ever occur in my lifetime. and to absolutely legally destroy everybody that has destroyed my life. And so sensorality is sound, and we're showing what letters, why those letters. The reason sensorality has those letters is because of speciality, is the natural tendency to differentiate for sexual antagonism, and that conceptualization produces linguistics. That sensorality was the leftover vowels and consonant structure from the last axiomatic derivation, which is completely chronological throughout the whole species. Like the history of science being consolidated. And so that's what sensorality is. But we're showing, and then sensodorality has well-defined conceptualization, so that sound in that syllability, the letters assigned to that sound are contained within something that has meaning. And so that's what sensorality is, that's what sensodorality is. And we're stabilizing what sensorality is as a base, because it's sensor with ality at the end. We have this irreducibility of conceptualization of thing. I'm an individual, that desk is an individual. We have independence, discreteness. And so we're showing what conceptually, right, sensor, right, we know what that's a well-defined thing, and ality. And so then we have this whole contained word within that syllability, orality. And so now we have this other linguistic construction, sensodorality, which contains that conceptually and linguistically, and we'll be able to derive from a linguistic representation, a sentence, a word form that will solidify, show the direct iteration that stabilizes what a sensor is. Right? I don't pick what fluency means. Fluency is influential. Literally the identity, fluent is fluent. Fluency is influential, directly spells out identity. And so we're just showing sensorality is, but through a well-defined conceptualization. And then proving that linguistically, hey, how could we represent this concept? Ality, the quality of being a sensor. And then we use up all of the letters. Again, that's what this whole YouTube channel is, directly this whole process. And that's what's been threatened to be taken away from me yesterday because random, complete fraud. But again, my whole life, again, I'm the victim of crime so much more profoundly outside of a YouTube channel. But that is what we're doing. That is what sensorality is, and we're just going through this analysis process to show the direct differentiation of letters to solidify this definition. But then again, even like to do, I'm not trying to do anything. All right, this is just I'm Brad. I'm a person that realizes stuff, and I just write it down. Like, and it's not like I'm not motivated to do derivation. It just happens, and it's just the most important shit ever. And why do I have to keep saying this stuff? Regardless, my rights continue to be violated. It is profoundly and extensively illegal. I just want to be treated like a person, by somebody. And people don't get how much fucking damage you guys are doing. You're too stupid to know what you are doing directly, literally. And then conceptually, right, sensorality is smell. If you just, again, with all of that being said, if you didn't follow one single thing, when I say sensorality, you think smell. Sensorality, smell. Sensorality, smell. You're caught up. But I'm doing this to completeness to the people that are following this. I'm showing you the realization process. Because Brad is just a person like you out there learning a vocab word. And then once we arrive at this direct iteration, all of the language, all of the different words you have are definitive, discrete. They have definitions. And we're just showing this process completely. Right? Our complete differential is what sensorality is. And we just have to get to this completion process. So with that being said, going through our derivation steps, and there's quite a bit. Sensorality deodorizes speciality. Natural definition, direct iteration. Sensorality defines speciality. And so with the last axiomatized part of syllability, this last definition, chronologically, what is special, the natural tendency to differentiate for sexual antagonism, infinite uniqueness, endless differentiation. And so we have to show this difference, or it's just moving through our steps. What is base to definition? Sensorality is the definition of defiance. And I have the definition of in quotations because it's conceptually completely anytime somebody says the definition of. We already have, and we're rederiving the entire structure of language. What is defiance to defense? Sensorality is defensibility. Emphasizing I'm using an I spelling, not an A spelling there. Is a fence a filter? Is a fence defensive? Sensorality defends action. What is odor to action? Sensorality is indefensible action. What is defeat to fatigue? Is opaqueness uniqueness? Another one of these not secret France words is unique French or English. Again, languages are distinct, they're not fundamental. Sensodorality censors deodorality. And so, again, just generalizing deodorant, taking off the, again, just iterating deodor. L goes to, again, there's literally, these are just trivial analytical steps where it's like I have to stop and say 1 plus 1 addition is still addition, is literally what's happening here. But again, the self-containment is something I do naturally when I'm not disrupted, and you don't even notice it. But it's just, my life is disgusting. But uniqueness, right? Or sensodorality censors deodorality. So again, that containment of phonetic, right? Sensodorality contains a sensorality is direct. I just had to get used to the sensodor pronunciation. You'll hear it in the first couple videos. Again, I'm showing you this realization process. And you guys have no idea how much destruction you've fucking done already and you continue to do. It is profoundly illegal and profoundly disgusting. And all of history needs to remember this shit. People too stupid and frankly too horny to care about their actions. Just compete over nothing. When's my next paycheck and my next orgasm? As long as that's on lock, bro. Look at me, dude. Sensodorality censors deodorality. Is odor sensory? What is odor to sensitivity? Because again, each one of these steps is a unique part of derivation. I just don't even say a lot of things for a lot of them. Ah, my goodness, man. Andrew Ross Sorkin needs to be in prison yesterday, and I just turn on CNBC and it's just like, I don't fucking exist. He's just sitting up there smiling. Oh, I'm interviewing the people at in Congress, and there's our senators talking about the Constitution. There's a Republican talking about the Constitution. There's a Democrat, Constitution. And here's me documenting the violation of the Constitution to profound financial damages to the destruction of my health and grave bodily harm. Ha 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 ha. Is odor sensory? What is odor to sensitivity? Does odor desensitize? Sensorality sensitizes. Sensorality is sensitive to orality. Natural definition. What is sensorizing to sensitizing? Sensorality sensitizes. Natural definition. What is sanitizing to sensitizing? Sensorality is odor sensitivity. Is odor caustic? Is rustic caustic? What is odor to rust? What is oxidation to odorization? I literally derived that in my brain, and then I looked down and it was this next step. It's the same. Again, this is actually a unique chronology. Right? You can't break it. I am bounded by the same physics and conceptualizations you are. And these words just have meaning, and we're just refining them to a definition of what is a sensor. What is dating to odor? Right? Sensorality is outdated. Outdated is retro. What is smell to small? Sensorality smells small. How do you smell small, you might ask? Well, sensorality does it. Natural definition, direct iteration. What is short to small? Sensorality is short. Sensorality is short order. Natural definition, direct iteration. In short order is a tall order. So that's a direct conceptual iteration with the same, right? You heard what I said. If you're a native English speaker, you heard me. But right, in short order, I need something done quickly. I need it in short order, right? Something's daunting or challenging or difficult. It's a tall order. In short order is a tall order. So it's conceptual iteration but you're using like the same words, and something to try to point out. What is small to skinny? What is skinny to frail? Are sentences sensitive? What is a tense to a sentence? What is odor to disorder? What is sensodorality to disorderality? Again, that was the first mispronunciation I said. I would put the order, but it's odor. Again, we're showing this phonetic reduction. I think it's of consonants completely. Sensorality, smells disabled. And you might say, what does that smell like? Again, Professor Carroll, if we open cell block D, cell 14. Psh, come on out, Professor. What is smelling disabled like, Sean? But seriously, throw these people in prison. Sensorality, smells disability. Yeah, smells like Professor Carroll. What is disability to density? Disability is disorder. Natural definition, direct iteration. What is deodorization to degeneration? Sensorality is disorderality. Sordid is disorderality. So again, that's sordid form, but again, we are forming, progressing to a complete differential linguistically, and then linguistics conceptually is just an iteration of it is what it is, conceptual containment by this structure. Linguistics to physics is just it is what it is to it is what it is. But we're just again showing that completion. But sordid is this word form that seems to disorder. And then so from disorderality to disorderality, again, just some direct iteration of the consonants. Sordid, sorder. Sensorality is disorderality. Sensodorality is disoderality. Natural definition, direct iteration. Sensorality is disproportionality. What is odor to proportion? Odor, portion. Sensorality is disproportionate. Is proportional, appropriate. Sensorality is appropriation. Appropriation is appropriate. Natural definition, direct iteration. Again, the linguistics pairing to the conceptualization. So we're going to get to that completely with sensorality. And it's a chunk of, I've been calling it a chunk of syllability, but when I say sensorality, that is a sound. And we were showing you the geometric reasons as to why you assign these letters to these sounds. All of which is a well-defined analytical process that is not documented anywhere besides me, which is on this YouTube channel, which has just got threatened illegally, profoundly. It's just such a fucking disgusting world. What is appropriation to approximation? Right, specifically appropriate to appropriation. Conceptually, people are like, didn't really think about that. What is appropriation to approximation? Are approximates appropriate? Worth pointing out historically, again, I can literally feel where it's like, this is as real and as more rigorous than 4 over 3 pi ards cubed is the volume of a sphere, is here's the order of geometric sequence. Here's a word, here's a sentence. And so I can feel like what is not known completely and entirely from an analytical perspective. Where it's like, again, if you know calculus, again, not even like Leibniz or like Newton, like completed calculus, but you're going into you're interacting with a single individual that has never seen calculus, you would know that. But then if you're interacting with a whole conglomerate of people that say, I'm a mathematician, but I have no idea what calculus is, you're dealing with a whole different kind of like dynamic. And that's what I'm doing with analysis, because I'm just doing analysis. But the identities are not articulated anywhere. And then when I put them up on YouTube, I got threatened by Andrew Ross Sorkin, some lovely, great CNBC host. And so I'm very literally having to stop and be like, class, can we remember what addition is? 1 + 1 = 2. Moving along. Are approximates appropriate? What is appropriation to approximation? Sensorality is inappropriation. Inappropriate is out of place. What is appropriation to application? perversion is inappropriate. Natural definition. What is perversion to pension? Sensuality is pension tension. Natural definition. What are nostrils to odor? Are nostrils nasal? What is singeing to burning? So I hyphenated this one. Again, I don't know how you have a clear conceptualization. You singe something. I am singeing. If I burn something, I singe it. But how would you spell that? Singeing, right? Because if you have singe, S-I-N-G-E, and you put an ing and drop the E, you just get singing. And so, again, worth pointing out, these actual linguistic representations are trivial. Right? We have to get our conceptualizations in the right place, and this irreducibility is already represented in language. So when we go from our total differential to our complete derivative, so to speak, or just linguistic construction to derive to smaller syllability, less syllability, you get the completeness. And so when we don't have the concepts in the right order, we don't have the completeness of the linguistic representation. And so that's kind of where hyphenation again comes from completely. Sensuality singes the nostrils. Natural definition. What is singeing to stinging? What is stinging to singing? What is singing to sensing? Is deodorant geometric? Again, emphasizing deodorant. But again, deodorant, you do iterate that, right? You don't have an OR, you iterate that to an ER. All right, so then what is odor to order? Again, you drop that first R, again, showing this completeness, deriving a definition. Is geometry unique? What is a sword to an orb? Kind of getting this transition phonetically of ord to orb, and kind of feeling this flipping of the D to the B. Are accidents appropriate? Sensuality is accidentiality. Natural definition, direct iteration. Sensuality is accommodation. Is accommodation appropriate? What is accommodation to amenity? Sensuality is vibration accommodation. What is accommodation to recommendation? What is recommendation to recollection? Right? Memorality is recollectionality. Memorality, memory plus morality equals memorality, remembering what is right. That re prefix still sticks out like a sore thumb. Sensuality is a sore thumb that we put in our spherical torus that is sore also. Our sore thumb got sore from the sore torus. But memorality is recollectionality. What is collection to morality? Sensuality identifies odor. What is language to odor? Again, emphasizing that language just contains the word gauge. And that's always when I see the word, the linguistic construction, language, I always just see the word gauge with prefix, like every single time. But again, languages are distinct, they're not fundamental. Sensuality gauges odor. Gauging is gating. What is gauging to gouging? Sensuality gauges gouging. Natural definition. And so again, I don't know how, just my rights are profoundly and extensively violated. All of this documentation is financial damages, what you would call emotional damages, but again, not like Brad's sad, like I can't sit down and focus on doing math because people are committing crimes because the laws don't exist, because the governor doesn't care about the law, the president doesn't care about the law, the state representatives don't care about the law, your parents don't care about the law, their friends don't care about their law. It's just me. If my life's okay, fuck everybody else. And so again, without the law, there's nothing to appeal to. And my property is damaged so profoundly, and I am so prolific that people just like don't care or like doesn't register as like real things. But it's just the most disgusting shit in the world. Again, this Penguin Random House, Andrew Ross Sorkin. Penguin Random House, Andrew Ross Sorkin. Those are the names. Those are the legal entities disrupting my property generation today, June 3rd, 9:59 a.m. Because again, it's just like if that happens and I'm out camping for 2 weeks, my channel is just fucking deleted. Truly, this... Again, I don't even know what to defend. I did a book report that is clearly my analytical process and property, and it's just... Again, the system of YouTube is set up in a way where you cannot defend your property. I mean, this is no different than if someone walked into my store with a shotgun and it's like, give me all of your money. It's just like... Because again... I have disseminated the form of logic. That is the most profound thing anybody can do. Again, I am bounded in the same conceptualization and the same world you are, culture you are. And so there's nothing more I can do. But I still wake up every day, and the kind of like the tone that my life is to me is like Shia LaBeouf in Disturbia, the movie. Right? He punches his school teacher. But again, that's not a good example. I did not do anything wrong, but I am on house arrest. I can't like do normal things. And so it's not even that I really care about my YouTube channel that much. It's just at the current time, without public recognition, this is my own public record. Hey, I go into somewhere and they say, we're going to do this, or you're doing this. I go say, hey, go look at this video, go look at that video. And to have it being threatened to being taken down completely illegally, having no recourse, these would just be direct people, you would just be arrested for this. Again, swatting is like the barrier to entry for swatting. You just pick up the phone and say, hey, Johnny's doing that. The barrier for saying someone's stealing your stuff on YouTube, it's just, you click one button, and then the problems that it causes is fucking profound. So again, I emphasize that Sergey Brin, the executives, all of the people that have been issued degrees at Google, at YouTube, at Penguin Random House Publishing, all of academia, is as intimately involved in this RICO statute as you could possibly be. And I'm like, okay, clearly you guys have made this step. You'll send a whole intelligence apparatus to move in next door because you guys are too stupid to realize that you run out of syllables. You run out of things to say, and you fucking idiots are just like, blah, like, I mean, there's like nothing to appeal to. And so this is my YouTube channel is my only public record of all of this shit. I know how much my shit is recorded. And so it's just like, I live in an environment where my parents don't. I am still just like, when Brad's gonna work on his resume or some shit. And it's just like, I am under duress. I am destitute. I am at the point where, again, if there was any value to the law, I would be sitting out there with a sign saying, my rights are violated so much, give me my money. But nobody cares. And it's such a comic, and not funny, it's ghoulish. It's like, it's the most disgusting, but it's just so direct. People will just sit there like, yep, I know, like, your rights are violated, you can't pay your bills, but I'm going to follow false authority so rigorously and such like a sheep that there's no chance I'm going to behave. And I'm just like, okay, I get that. Like, that is clear for the past 10 years. Please let me live my life to some extent. I need to pay bills. I'm getting extorted every time I have to pay taxes. I live in the great United States of America. 250 years of no taxation without representation. I can't opt out of sales tax. I can't avoid general societal function. Nobody will give me my money. My complete personal life is destroyed. My property is destroyed. I am food insecure. I have grave bodily harm. And nobody cares. Like, words cannot come out of my mouth to make anybody care about the profound and extensive crime that has been committed against me, that continues to be committed against me, and I have just tried to normalize this abuse. I literally made a whole video titled Normalizing Abuse. I am just trying to use my capacity to produce work with no expectation illegally that it will be monetized or seen. But my days still come and they still go, and I'm still trying to live my life the best I can. And there is no society. To the boomers, to the older generations, you have failed so profoundly in making this world livable in any fucking capacity at all. Not to say you guys have ever had a thought outside of your own, again, your next orgasm and your next paycheck and your next sports game. Truly just complete failure of what adulthood should be. But again, I'm the adult in the room. I'm the lawyer. I'm the legal scholar. I'm the judge. I'm the scientist, I'm the musician, I'm the property owner, I'm the business owner, I'm the person working hard, I'm the person contributing to society. And everybody else just bitches and gets benefits from the labor market because nepotism and, hey, Johnny deserves dignity too, but not Brad because, well, again, I've just been scapegoated. Scapegoating is a real, well-defined behavioral pattern that is generalizable, that is observed throughout history. And people in my personal life, they're like, it's such a disgusting way to act. They're like, oh, Brad's life doesn't matter. It's going to go away. And what do you do when you're done with a scapegoat? Yep, its life is over, actually. But still here. And people just can't admit they did that to me. And so it's completely fucking true. Again, I've been crawling for criminal charges and financial damages from the rooftops legitimately for 10 years. So threatening my YouTube channel is, again, the biggest disruption to my headspace possible. I've privated all of the videos. I don't even know how, like, because when you upload YouTube, it goes through its initial copyright thing. All of my shit is just fair. I mean, it's all my shit. It's all novel analysis. It's not even like, there's no need for me to cite anything ever. But again, we don't have a law. There's no laws. There's no respect of private property. Brad does too much stuff in comparison to everybody else, so Brad gets nothing. Ha 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 ha. We got him. Brad didn't get ahead of us. Ha 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 ha. And now Brad can't eat food, and Brad has vital organ damage because he can't eat food, and people just say, oh, he had a drinking problem. Nope. Nope, I was literally fucking profoundly and extensively T-word. And I couldn't consume calories as a direct mechanical failure of biological function. It's just my sense of identity and integrity is just, my life has never mattered. And that's a provable, non-emotional statement of just, actions have consequences, actions have meanings. Has anybody valued Brad's life besides Brad? Absolutely not, in direct, meaningful ways. And so all of this is threatened again. I don't know what to say. I'm at this point where, again, I'm destitute. I would be sitting outside of a government building, out of a state house with a sign saying, I cannot eat food. Here is my rights. Do something. I give up. Because again, like over here, I'm still sitting here with aging parents with, again, my dad has stage 4 whatever cancer. It's suppressed now, but this shit can change in 2 seconds. And it's just like, I just want fucking something of my life to, like, matter to fucking anybody. And it just doesn't. Another fucking golf tournament, another baseball fucking game, another basketball fucking game. Oh yeah, Peter Patton's now the shooting coach of the New York Knicks. Can Brad buy fucking food yet? Nope. Hey Peter, fuck you, dude. Like do something. Respect the law, man. Oh, no, mental illness. Throw these people in prison. Throw them in jail. Every bit of their family that's going to an academic institution is stealing from me. All I'm saying is enforce the law. But again, it's just you offend a group of people, they just gang up on you and they scapegoat you and nobody cares. There is no law, there are just groups of people, and if you get kicked out of every group of people, you're just out of everything. And so, again, I will continue to upload on YouTube. If my YouTube somehow, again, just magically gets deleted, I guess I'll just go to Facebook or whatever, again, wherever I can just on my own personal record, I know this shit gets watched right now. I know everything gets recorded all of the fucking time. And so, but it's my own personal record where, again, without any sort of payment, without the ability to pay bills, sustain life on the most basic fundamental sense, pay utility bills, gas, electric, have a roof over my head outside of the profound abuse of my parents' fucking living environment. I don't care about anything. Truly. Not this output, not this work. It's just this herky-jerky. You do one thing and I just get told I'm a fucking diseased animal no matter what the fuck I do, and it's posting a fucking book report. There are no laws. Throw everybody in jail. That's what I have for right now. I am under profound duress. I am destitute. I am seeking asylum. I have been seeking asylum. Somebody please fucking help me to my estate. Do not let anybody involved in the suppression of science ever benefit from any part of my output. Fucking ever. And that's the funnier part. Is when people are over here threatening to delete my YouTube channel, I just need to get my fucking money and then I don't want anybody to benefit from my shit. I'm voluntarily taking it down. Because you guys can't avoid the fucking form of all of logic. And I just want this carnival stupid society to exist. Because, well, again, I can't eat properly, I can't sleep properly, and I can't work right now at the recording of this video. That is what I have for now. Thank you for watching. See you on the next one.